Playing cards are dead. Or are they? That's what I want to talk about in today's video, but before we dive into that, hello and welcome to my new flat in Manchester. I have moved back into the city centre and it feels so good to be here. It really feels like home. I'm still sorting this place out. I've only just moved in, so I'm still working out the camera angle and all that sort of stuff. But today we want to talk about playing cards, because according to Geraint Clarke in a recent blog post, decks are dead. And I read this blog post and, like a few people, I could not disagree more. And so I want to jump on camera and give my side of things. After all, this is just the opinion of one person, and so I want to share my opinion as well, with massive respect to Geraint Clarke. I love the guy, I think he's great, he's doing great things, he's driving Ellusionist in a really good direction. I just disagree with this, like really strongly, and hopefully we can open up a discussion. Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, I wanna talk about this. This is really fascinating to me because it's not an opinion I've heard all that much. So without further ado, let's dive into the blog post itself. I'm gonna read through it and I'm gonna give my thoughts on each point that it makes. The playing card market is dead, but why? Before I get into it, let's just realize a truth. There are too many deck designs within Magic. That is written so big on the page. Pigcake just got his deck funded on Kickstarter. Fraser Parker also funded his deck a few months back. Joker and the Thief has 2 hours ago at the time of writing this. But what's the theme? They all have around 190 backers. 190 buyers does not make a market. It shows a saturation point for new designs from independent producers. A saturation... This is such a weird point, and part of me gets their logic. I can see why they're saying this, and I can see the point that they're trying to prove, okay? That anyone can make a deck. All of these people have funded decks on Kickstarter, and there are so many designs. And that is true. That is not something I'm shying away from. It's something I've said in the past. When I've done deck collection videos or whatever, I've expressed that exact point. There are so many designs, it is overwhelming. You just, you can't know about all of the designs in the playing card industry. There are too many to know about, let alone have yourself. A very scary insight. All these guys have audiences, reputations, and fantastic ideas. So why can't they make their decks? Let's keep reading. But what's happening to them is happening across the industry as a whole. Fontaine started selling to Murphy's recently. Zach is a marketing genius and used to blow out of each print run in minutes. Yeah, I mean, Fontaine used to sell out like that. I never was able to get a Fontaine deck. And I know that now it is a little bit easier, I've heard that. The secondary market used to blow up with $25, $50, or even $100 Fontaines. Now there's surplus stock. Bit of a dig at Fontaine, not sure if that was entirely necessary. Again, I can see the point they're trying to move. Fontaine are big boys, they can take a little dig from a blog post. But I say all of this not to point the finger, but to prove what I've been saying in private for over a year is true. Decks are dead because it's impossible for everyone to keep up with all the new designs and colorways from all producers. Okay, so I agree it's impossible to keep up with all of the new designs. I agree that. It's a huge market. There are thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of designs of decks of cards. Why does that mean that decks are dead? That's my question to Geraint Clarke. I don't see those 2 points making sense. I agree there's a lot of decks and there's a huge amount of choice, but I see it as a huge amount of choice. I don't see it as an oversaturation of the market. Maybe that's just a different way of wording the exact same point, but for me, I see that as such a beautiful thing. I mean, I just see it as a good thing that there are so many decks to choose from. There are decks from every corner of the world, every type of creator, every style of deck imaginable pretty much feels like it's out there. Of course, there are so many untapped ground because design is pretty much infinite. The amount of stuff you can design to fit on a playing card, there's no limit to that. Then it says in big text, level playing field. Everyone and their cat can make their own deck now. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. Isn't that, I mean, why is that a negative thing? I'm getting very passionate about this because I'm a playing card creator. Yes, I am minuscule. I am the cat in this metaphor, right? I am tiny. CVN is just 2 people. It's me, myself, and it's Arya. 2 people, and we make playing cards. And, you know, they were talking earlier about backing on Kickstarter, 190 backers. I've had 2 Kickstarters, fully funded, produced decks because of them. None of them have got anywhere near 190 backers. And? And? I don't care. If it got 2 backers and it fully funded because of that, then it fully funded and the deck exists because of it. The number of backers is such a meaningless way of measuring, like, oh god, I'm so frustrated by this. I really am, and I feel like Craig Petty ranting at the camera. Sorry, Craig, that's an uncalled for joke, but I'm getting passionate about this because I think it's a good thing. And to see Geraint, who again I really, really respect, and all of this is, you know, we're arguing over playing cards here, we can still be friends, it's a very minor issue, but it's something that we're all passionate about. When we argue about magic and playing cards, whatever it is, yes, to an outsider it's a very, very small issue and we're arguing over 52 bits of paper. Isn't that a wonderful thing? But I just don't see it as a bad thing. 20 deck producers has snowballed into more than 200, foil is for everyone, crush stock is standard now, embossing is even on the most basic decks. Why is this a problem? I mean, that's literally the next sentence. Why is this a problem? Everyone has access to the same quality and it splits the focus and the attention of buyers? What? Everyone has access to the same quality. Good, yes, brilliant. Isn't that amazing? The fact that high quality playing cards can be produced by anyone. It's not just cheap plastic printouts, it's actually crushed stock, it's foil, it's embossing, it's whatever people want. That's incredible, that they're able to turn their designs into actual usable playing cards that are really high quality, that are competing, if not on the same level as United States Playing Card Company or Cartamundi or whoever, Theory 11, Ellusionist, whoever is producing cards. One person, one designer can come along and they can make a deck that is equal quality with the big boys. It splits the focus and the attention of buyers? I don't agree with. I really don't. I think it just means there's more choice on the market. The only reason you'd complain about that is because you're worried about it taking business away from you, which is maybe where this is coming from. Maybe that's what Geraint Clarke or Ellusionist or whoever, maybe that's what they're worried about. They're worried about small creators like myself coming along and stealing some of the limelight. That maybe customers are choosing to choose independent creators rather than big companies. Maybe that's what they're worried about. Pick a busy road in London, it could have 10 coffee shops on it. Would you open coffee shop number 11? In this analogy, Ellusionist used to be the only coffee shop on the busy street. Now we're just one of 200. Well, I think that kind of proves what I was saying earlier. That maybe this is coming from a place of Ellusionist knowing that now they are just one coffee shop on a street of 200. That now there are hundreds of independent creators that are all making their playing cards, like myself. I'm producing playing cards. I've got a deck around the corner that I'm going to announce very soon, and I'm very excited about that. This isn't gonna put me off. This should not put you off. If you want to make a deck, if you're in the process of making a deck, don't let anyone tell you what to do. Do what you want. If you were gonna release it, then still release it. Yes, you are an independent coffee shop in a row of 200, but so what? If you have an audience, if you have a market, even if that market is 10 people, no other artist of any kind should tell you not to produce your art because there's too much art already. Sorry, the gallery's full, no more art in here. When they're referring to a level playing field, what they're actually referring to is the physical stock, right? The actual physical playing cards. That's become a level playing field because now they're all so high quality. They're all right up here. The bar is high for everyone. But design isn't a level playing field, and it won't ever be a level playing field because, like I said, the number of things you can fit on a playing card is infinite. There's an infinite number of designs out there, and there's so many different art styles and artists. That won't ever be a level playing field. The only way to differentiate yourself now is to be the cheapest. Completely and utterly false. Completely and utterly false. That is not the only way to differentiate yourself. Design differentiates it. The different decks look different. It's not about price, Ellusionist. No one, I mean, I guess price plays into it a little bit. You know, if there's two very similar designs and one is $12 and one is $11, you might choose the $11 deck, but if there's a fantastic design that's more expensive, you might choose that. There's too much that plays into it. It's not just about price. That is such a minimalist way of thinking about it. If it was just about price, then everyone would be producing really cheap rubbish decks and be selling them. Today we're massively discounting decks and taking them off life support. Huge discounts are there on design. Is this just a way of promoting their discounted decks? Are they never producing a deck again? I doubt it. I think Ellusionist will still be producing decks in 10 years' time. I think there'll always be a need for it, and that in itself proves that decks aren't dead. Yeah, I got very passionate during this video, and I don't often do that because I think it's a little bit cringy when people get sort of ranty and ravey, but I'm passionate about this. This is something very, very close to my heart, and I disagree with this article very, very strongly. I wanted to come on camera and put my point across. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.